Hello YouTube and welcome to the first episode in a new series on the channel, that being the Symphogear series. If anybody's new here, hello, hi, I do anime reactions and that kind of thing. And I like to, really discuss the stuff afterwards and try to find out why it works and what really makes it tick. That's kind of my thing. For those that didn't know, I recently had a poll on the channel, and this poll had some shenanigans involved. Some shenanigans in which Tatami Galaxy won pretty easily, followed by Symphogear. But there was some vote manipulation. I'm currently watching Tatami Galaxy on the channel right now, and it is quite good, so thank you for everybody for the recommendation there. But Symphogear seemed to have a lot of the vote for majority of the poll time. So there's seemingly demand for this show, and I am one to kind of reciprocate that demand. So yeah, we're going to do Symphogear, all 5 seasons. I think there's 5 seasons. So what do I know about Symphogear? I think that it is a mech/robot suit show. I don't really know the correct nomenclature for that, but they kind of wear suits of armor that are like sci-fi. I'm unsure if there's fantastical elements involved or it's a bit more grounded in reality. I'm unsure about that at this point. I think it has a mainly female cast, which is pretty cool. I generally like shows that have a mainly female cast. Normally, the stuff that goes along with that is a kind of focus on really strong character design and really strong kind of interpersonal relationships between the characters. I know that there's a musical element to the show. That's why it's called Symphogear, I'm imagining. And it may be potentially idol-esque, maybe? That's just a assumption on my part. I have no clue into that at all. So in the past, I've been a fan of these kind of idol shows, but a lot of the problem with the idol shows is they don't really go anywhere, if that makes any sense, right? They do have an end goal, of course, but there isn't large kind of action sequences that you would expect out of your more typical, really great anime. So when I kind of talk about my dream show, it's taking a lot of these kind of idol show elements and probably applying it to a situation with a bit more stakes. And maybe that's what we're getting here, hopefully. If so, then this is my dream show. I don't know where to mention this, but I think one of my comments said in the past that I shouldn't be expecting great animation quality, at least in the earlier seasons, so that expectation is in check as well. So whenever I start a new show, I like to go through a couple of things. That being the main stuff for the show, or the stuff that I deem important from the outside looking in, and I'm open for any suggestions on that in the comments or any further info in regards to this. And I also like to look at the key visual for the series, or at least this season anyway. So one thing that really caught my eye straight off the bat is the source of this is an anime original. That means that the kind of story of the show was produced for this medium, if that makes any sense. We're not adapting it from a manga or a light novel that has different expectations around pacing. So anime originals are generally pretty good, so thumbs up for that. Just a quick look at the staff here. The director of this season of the show, anyway, is Tatsufumi Ito, who seems to be an industry veteran, loads of key animation work on a bunch of big shows, including Attack on Titan, JoJo, Aria the Animation, the list goes on. In more of the director space, he's done episode directing on Gintama and Bokuben, and chief directed a couple shows that I don't really have knowledge of. Shugo Kara Party? Yeah, Shugo Kara Party. No idea. As well as a show called Maho Sensei Nejima, which maybe is an OVA for that show. It was unclear. Tatsufumi Ito sadly passed away in 2020. He was age 55, and that is tragically young to pass away, so my condolences and all of that. The person that's done series composition work, wrote the script, and was the original creator of the show is Akifumi Kaneko. They've done some writing for a video game called Wild Arms, which seems to be a JRPG. I wasn't really aware of it until now. And seems to be lead game designing a successor to that game on Kickstarter, so good luck to him with all of that. It's called Armed Fantasia. Other than that, and working on the Symphogear series, I can't really find much else about him. The music of the show, as well as the original creator or the other original creator, as opposed to Akifumi Kaneko, is Noriyasu Agematsu, who is a founding member of a musical production brand called Elements Garden, who seem to work on all of the music for the series. So this label has done tons of work in mainly really weeby spheres, like a ton of work for Bang Dream. Actually, this is probably best demonstrated by me just getting the page up. Hold up. Like, I don't know if you can read all of these, but if you're any kind of weeb, you would recognize some of these names. Even Love Live here that I saw before. I'm a Love Live fan, so there's that. D4DJ as well. Loads of voice actors here. Mamoru Miyano. Yeah, just loads of different work. Too much to really say at this point. I don't know if this is super relevant, but I included it anyway. The show has a really experienced sound director in Satoshi Motoyama. And if you look through his ANN or MAL or any of that, you'll see basically every show. He's done a lot of stuff. Now I'll have a quick look at the key visual. And now I've got the key visual in front of me that I'll add into the video in post. What am I looking at here? There seems to be a central character with looks to be blonde hair. They seemingly have these suits on, I guess. There's water down the bottom. Don't really know how that's relevant. There's something in the heart of this one character that's kind of expanding out. So we'll see about that. There is one male character I see at the back, so that's interesting as well. And yeah, we'll kind of see where we go from there. Really strong character design, I'm noticing. Like, I think I've seen a few of these characters around in kind of profile pictures and that kind of thing. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. Interesting design for the key visual as well, just from a kind of graphic design point of view. There's something that I've maybe learned about the series from kind of cultural osmosis or any kind of thing that you want to call it, just being around weeb spheres for a while, is this show is a grower, not a shower. So I am in for the long haul. I'm not going to be too critical of the early stuff, knowing that the stuff later is potentially really great. So that is an expectation that I'm going into this series with. Another thing that I need to ask about is sub tracks. There seems to be some kind of meme in the community around subbing and it not being great, or there being a lot of different subs and a lot of different kind of file sets. I'm going to go with the Komi subs right now just because I'm using Komi for Monogatari at the moment and they seem to be working okay, even though I've had some complaints and they want me to use Call Girls. Anyway, it's weird. Either way, if this is your first video here as well, I'd provide a picture-in-picture version in the description at a pretty low quality and of course, a timer down the bottom to sync up your version with as well, so use either at your leisure. Just some chill stuff before I jump into the series proper. If you like the video, consider liking the video. If you like the video and want to see more, consider subscribing to the channel. I'm going to be doing all of Symphogear, so strap in. Comment below anything you thought about the episode, anything I can do to improve my presentation, comment below. And I'm doing follow for follow on Twitter, so follow me on Twitter if you would like me to follow you back. Rightio, let's jump into episode 1 of Symphogear. Oh yeah, that's one thing I forgot to mention as well. It's called Senki Zesshou Symphogear. I'm unsure what the first part means, so any introduction there would be great as well. Anyway, on with the episode. Rightio, got episode 1 of Symphogear up here ready to go. As I said before, there'll be 2 versions. There'll be a picture-in-picture down in the description, so use it at your leisure. Let me pop that up on screen. 23 minutes and 42 seconds on this episode, so again, sync up at your leisure. As I said before, using the Komi subs, and yeah, just going to jump in. I'm also using, apparently it's AV1 encoding or decoding of the video file, so I'm unsure if that works with my stuff that I've got going at the moment, so if it does end up really kind of laggy and skips around a bit, then I'll definitely use a different version later on. Anyway, we'll see how this goes. I'm really unsure about all this video production stuff. Anyway, I'm rambling. Let's just jump right into episode 1. Let's give it a 3, 2, 1. Right here? 3, 2, 1, go. Did it go? Oh, there we go. Okay. Rain? Flowers. Like a funeral? 8,000 cries? Okay. I've got no idea. Okay. The best friend. Was there some kind of, yeah, like war? She kept singing as blood spilled from her mouth. Not Hibiki. Oh, well, she's on the poster. That's a cool shot. I like going kind of under the grave there. The swan songs of the Valkyries. The best friend that I kept singing on the battlefield. 2 years ago. Okay, this is, yeah, It's a bit more up to speed. Nice little flash forward. Okay. Seems to be the, I don't know, distant future, but the future. Idols. Queue up here. Oh, you hate to see it. Oh, that's awful. It is a bit awkward going to a show where you don't know who's performing by yourself. Huh. Were you one of the people on the poster? Yeah, they must be. Well, yeah, she does seem nervous. Little flick on the forehead. Kanade and Tsubasa. Oh, hello, Genjuro. The future of mankind. Hello, Sakurai Ryoko. Okay, Hibiki. There was a Tsubasa, and I forget the other name, Moriko. That's pretty elaborate. Are they going to walk out to the middle of the audience like that? That's like Kanye style. Okay. Kanade, not Moriko. I don't know where I got Moriko from. Am I wrong, or could there potentially be some shipping within this fan base as well? It'll work out as long as we're together, huh? Zwei Wing. Okay. Music? I'd love to see some music. Okay, yeah, this is very familiar. This is just an idol show. Okay. I'm good with an idol song. Oh my god, they're flying? Ooh, this is cool. Is that all 2D? Oh, she loves it. Alright, this is kind of a bop. The dancing's pretty smooth. I don't know about the lip sync though. Whoa, look at the stage. I kind of just want to hear the song itself without all the kind of crowd cheering. Zwei Wing. Yeah, right. That was pretty good. It was very J-pop, very anime music, but it was pretty good. I like the vocal melodies. She's into it anyway, so what is this? It's like this Evangelion room. Uh, something bad is happening. The rising internal pressure. The relic. Huh? The noise. Okay, the noise seem to be the bad guys. Oh my god. He's very disgusting. Look at these like rabbit people. Uh yeah, sucks to be that guy. Yeah, right. I thought that was Hibiki. Only we can fight them. Oh, a little bit of magical girl stuff. Okay. Yes, very magical girl. But it's like sci-fi as well. Yeah, right. Yeah, man, look at this anime bullshit. Hell yeah. Are they gonna sing and fight? Insane kind of breath control to fight and sing. What did that say? Stardust something. What? Neshuten? And Ryoko is the lady that was next to him. Oh, of course. Whatever that said. I couldn't turn my head fast enough. It's kind of comic book esque. Oh my god, that animation was pretty good actually. They're almost like insectoid. At least the big ones are. Oh my god. Somebody save her. Good thing her friend wasn't here as well. She kind of lucked out. This music is awesome. Yeah, I think I enjoy a bit more the background music stuff as opposed to the actual vocals. At least for right now on my very limited sample size. Is Kanade gonna be okay? Uh she's not. Didn't that say 2 years ago though? I don't think she has a choice. I thought she got hit in the heart. How is she still going? Okay. Uh, yeah, is this like a self-sacrifice? Yeah, the music's incredible. Oh, God, imagine somebody like drifting like that, like kind of flaking apart. Oh, she's okay. Well, I guess that's only natural, considering she's on the poster. And now back to the present. So not when she's dead? Okay. Look at this completely different show. Kind of whiplash. Hibiki. Well, yeah, a little bit. Hmm. Well, yeah, she kind of helped save my life. Yeah. Okay. No, I'm guessing it genuinely happened, and you're going to get to ask Tsubasa about that. Yeah. Oh, yep, two completely straight characters again. What are the noise? Okay, so like actual weapons like army like tanks and guns and stuff just pass right through them? Yeah, exactly. Hello Subasa, I'm guessing. Dropped out of a helicopter. That's kind of sick. Oh yeah, this is cool. Yeah, this is some like near shit. Yeah, this is so cool. So there's 5 seasons of this, huh? Okay. Yeah, I think you got him. Yeah, take that, nameless soldiers. Idiots. What are these hills? Just loves to eat. Hmm. The nightingale of the school. Got a bit of food there. Oh, that'd be embarrassing. Yeah. Does she remember you? Maybe. This song's really good too. Yeah, it's also to support the artists themselves a little bit more. That's kind of where they do it in Japan still, I think, right? This is definitely what I chant while running to get something as well. Like running to the supermarket, just chanting bread. She's a bit of a special one. Uh, oh no, the noise I hear. Oh, is this a imagination thing? No, they're definitely here. Ooh, those shots were actually pretty cool. Oh, into the water. Heroic. We'd like to see this from a protagonist, or what I'm guessing is a protagonist. So again, much like something like Evangelion, there's like shelters in that. Okay. Perfect. Great. Again, the music's popping off in the background. The plot's moving kind of mad for one episode, isn't it? I don't know. Climbing to the top of this thing probably wasn't all that wise, but we'll see. Well, the sky's really pretty. Oh, teleports behind you. So again, how did the noise like work? Okay. And there's the heart. Oh yeah, she got hit in the heart too. Of course. Or in the chest. This song. Gungear. And that's probably Kanade's kind of signature or whatever. Purple heart. Yeah, this is actually kind of sick. Yo. It seems very painful. She's evil? That's episode 1, Beat of Awakening. Okay. It was pretty good. I actually really enjoyed that. This song's kind of insanely produced too. Listen to the drums. It's pretty high energy though, isn't it, the show? Like it moves pretty quick. Yeah. It's not exactly subtle, the music. Not that I really mind. It kind of goes with the source material as well. That's pretty cool. And that's it. Righty, let's jump into a quick bit of analysis on that episode. So that was my first impression of Symphogear, and yeah, it's really cool. It is really cool. If this is the slow start people are talking about, then I don't think I have anything to worry about. I still found a lot to like here, I think. Uh, I don't know how I'm going to really talk about the music without outright playing it. So just suffice to say the music's really good and was one of the standouts of the entire piece. Mostly the background music stuff, I'm not really sold on the singing style yet, but may grow on me, we'll say. They've also got this, I'm guessing it's a different language, maybe like a made up language that they're using for certain songs that seem to have magical abilities. So again, we'll see where all that goes. But in general, yeah, I would recommend this episode. If I was watching the show seasonally, just randomly, I'd probably give it an episode 2, which is, generally a pretty good sign to something that's actually worth a damn. So, yeah, enjoyed it. So again, if you're new to my channel, I'm going to get the episode up here. I'm going to go through it and pause on the stuff I want to talk about and, go into a little bit of detail about what we learnt from the episode. I thought it was very strange. The very start of the episode, there's about 1 second, 2 seconds of complete darkness, no noise, and I'm like, is my video file not working? I was a little bit concerned there because of what I talked about before with the kind of different codec on this video. But yeah, it seemed to be working fine, so that's good. I didn't notice any problems, but again, I could be wrong. And what do we see here? We see a scene kind of play out, if I can skip ahead as well on this bus, that's 2 years in the future. And this is Hibiki's best friend that I didn't grab the name of, kind of going and delivering some flowers to her grave. So she has passed away, which is a little bit interesting. I'm wondering what happened there. And then halfway through the episode, it goes back to present day. I thought this would have been present day, but apparently this is still the future. Or all is not what it seems with Hibiki. Again, we're keeping an eye on it. This is one of the times that I wanted to note a little bit of the poor animation stuff. I probably wouldn't have put this in our first 3 shots in the show. But anyway, cars are hard to animate. That's why a lot of them are CG these days. But yeah, I'm not an animation snob. Never have been an animation snob, so I don't really think that this is a big deal. Especially considering we have some great pop-off moments later. I'm thinking the performance by, what is it, Kanade and Tsubasa. And I'm also thinking that Tsubasa's kind of solo action scene towards the end of the episode as well. I thought they were both pretty fantastic. So yeah, ups and downs. We kind of all have billion-dollar budgets like some other stuff coming out right at the moment. Going back a little bit here, we have With a Thousand Cries, the little cuckoo's blooded tongue like a flame singing. So we did see a lot of blood, and of course the show's about singing, but I don't really know where this is going right now. 8,000 cries. It's like this really traditional Japanese font. Interesting. A little bit strange. She kept singing even as blood spilled from her mouth. Well, that's what happened to Kanade. Is this a similar thing that happened to Hibiki? Yeah, it's a pretty intense start to the show, especially with no kind of emotional grounding for anything yet. This is within what the first minute. Very strong emotional reaction. It's meant to hook you in. But we also don't have the context yet, so it seems a little bit melodramatic. I guess she's at a grave. I don't know, it's a tough one. I guess this is as good a time as any to talk about the voice acting, which on the whole seems pretty good. There wasn't anything noticeably bad, there wasn't anything noticeably fantastic. It was all, good. I don't really want to look up any of the voice actors yet in case I get spoiled, because looking at character pages on my anime list and that kind of thing generally leads to spoilers. So, yeah, I didn't particularly recognize any of the VAs, so we're just going to leave it at that, I think. They're pretty good singers, though. Not really a great fan of the singing style, but the singing power was definitely there. Which, these VAs are so very talented in the way that they can sing and act and do all these other things as well. It's kind of foreign to me as a Western viewer. I don't really know what our Western equivalent would be. So we kind of get some shots of like the city being destroyed, or has been destroyed, I should say. And we go kind of underneath the grave with the camera, kind of symbolizing that, hey, this is now going to be the past. We're going to see what happened before she was buried. Supposedly died? Again, unclear. So we go back 2 years ago and our color palette completely changes. It is clear that this is I don't know, I didn't say distant future, but it seemingly is. Anyway, it's a bit of a sci-fi setting, which I guess we knew going into it. And we are preparing for an idol show by Zwei Wing, which is Amo Kanade and Kazanari Tsubasa. Excuse me. Yeah, so I wasn't incorrect about this show having idol elements, which is cool. And I'm an idol show enjoyer, so this isn't foreign to me, any of this. Hibiki here is lining up for the Zwei Wing concert, and what is her friend's name? I'm just going to try to catch that quickly. It's Miku. Okay. Miku has been delayed from this performance, which is a stroke of good luck, I guess, that she wasn't there when the kind of whole stadium got destroyed and Hibiki kind of died. It's kind of like what's that story that Seth MacFarlane was going to be on the 9/11 plane, but he slept too much or something like that. It's an extreme amount of luck, put it that way. What is this on the paper? Rescued Japanese girl goes missing. Survivor of guerrilla war in South America. Goes missing. Okay. That's a little bit suspicious. Got no clue, but that's obviously foreshadowing, right? Here we're introduced to two other fairly important characters. It seems like this is Kanade and Tsubasa. Kanade seems way more self-assured and, kind of projects kind of this really passionate energy, if that makes any sense. It's your typical kind of blue-haired character, red-haired character kind of association. And it's very clear that Tsubasa looks up to Kanade a fair bit. Hence why what happens later is all the more tragic. The character designs overall in the show are pretty good. I wouldn't call them exceptional again. It's like an anime character. I think more of the character design comes out when they have the whole get up on, and I think the actual suits themselves are pretty cool. Especially the part at the end with Hibiki. That was almost I don't know if you guys saw Cyberpunk Edge Runners, but it's kind of like that. It was very kind of what's the word? Disturbing in a way, like the machine was taking over. Either way, these two are chatting it up, trying to pass time before the performance. Got a bit of that performance anxiety going on just before you go out on stage, which is fairly natural. This here is the commander, Genjuro, is his name. He's got a very strong design, eyebrows gang. Looks a little bit insane. And yeah, he's on the poster as well, so he's evidently important. And he seems to be running, what is this, Evangelion-esque kind of defense program, maybe? And today is of paramount importance, to the point where the show tonight will decide the future of mankind. Interesting. And then it has to do with whatever that kind of object was that they were shooting that beam into. Okay. Yeah, the Nehushtan. Nehushtan? This is Sakurai Ryoko. She's probably the best character design so far. I love the hairpin. I think it's really cool. And the glasses. Yeah, she's pretty cool. I hope she's in the show more. Their stage setup's pretty cool. It's very audience interactive, which is nice. Kind of this elevated platform above everybody, which is pretty cool to see. And yeah, this kind of plays out very similar to an actual idol show. They don't have a long time to establish the relationship between these two characters, but I think they do it decently well. Again, as soon as things start to go south in the battle, you kind of know that she's not going to make it. It's just how the story's going to work. I mean, you keep the characters around that have, what is it, room to grow. Somebody this self assured is almost always going to die for character development. But again, being that cynical about media is always fraught. You got to lose yourself in the moment a little bit as well. I'm sure it'll work out as long as we're together. Well, shit. Again, this stuff's just very funny to me. We can overcome anything. Yeah, anything. So the two idols literally fly onto the stage with a bunch of feathers, which is, pretty cool. Then we're going to have a little look at this dancing. Which is actually pretty good, and seemingly not CG, which you do see with a lot of idol shows. Again, the CG has come a long way from earlier idol shows around where this aired, and the later idol shows now, like something like Love Live Superstar, the CG looks fantastic. But yeah, I always have admiration for the 2D approaches to dances as well, and I think they do a really great job here. Yeah, this can obviously be seen as probably the big wow moment of the episode. And yeah, I think it delivers. I'm not sold on the song. I wish I could hear it in a little more clarity without the whole crowd cheering thing going on, but I think they have better songs later. Like the one where they're fighting, I think is a little bit better. But it seems a bit of a bop and would definitely get the crowd going, I think. The whole roof begins to open here, which would, again, be a really cool thing to happen during a live show. And it's definitely something that could be possible in the future, potentially. I don't know. You'd need. It's pretty high maintenance now that I'm thinking about it. Anyway, it makes for a great setup for the scene, right? Because then I'm guessing the noise fly in or something to that effect. Again, we don't really know what the noise is or how it kind of manifests. So they finish, I'm guessing, with the first song in their set here, and then we kind of pan underground to see what's happening down there. Phonic gain growth within expected range. And then it starts to go out of control. Again, they got this whole team down here with this beam pointing at this thing, and they're kind of harvesting energy from the show or something to that effect. The suppressors can't handle the rising internal pressure. At this rate, the relic will awaken. Is that what causes the noise to appear? If so, that's a pretty bad mistake. Or does this attract the noise? The noise has always been around, and the kind of this explosion of this relic is what kind of triggers them to appear. Either way, when the noise kind of latch onto somebody, they disintegrate their entire body into like ash. So yeah, I'd be running away as well. The designs are fairly interesting. You've kind of got these blob ones, and then you've got the really small ones, and then you've got these larger ones that are almost insectoid. I wouldn't call them great designs so far, but they get the job done. They're meant to just be a supernatural force for our characters to fight. So Kanade being the more gung-ho of the two, before they even hear from the commander, she hops down and starts to fight. She sings a little bit of this song and then kind of goes into a bit of a magical girl transformation sequence. Here we see the word Gungnir, which comes up later when we're talking about Hibiki. So that's clearly kind of associated with Kanade, even if I don't know how yet. Is Gungnir a spear? That's ringing bells for me. Either way, they are singing while fighting, which is infinitely cool. This is exactly what I wanted. I love kind of the combination of these two things, right? It's almost musical theater-esque. It's pretty awesome. They have some really kind of comic book-esque names for the moves here. What do we have? Stardust Photon and Last Meteor. Yeah, and kind of the background there goes a little bit cel-shaded. That's really cool. It's kind of a really eclectic mix of styles here. I can't say it's unenjoyable though. So first, the commander kind of yells out for Ryoko, I think her name was, which was the lady that was working with him. And then this thing starts to kind of morph a little bit. It's the Nehushtan armor. Again, I don't know, but it's in the old brain complex for later. Kind of Hibiki is still standing in the stands, falls to the ground before Kanade tells her to run. It's pretty clear here that Kanade is making her kind of final stand. This here is specifically really important because her kind of suit shatters a little bit here, and then one of the shards pierces Hibiki in the chest. So that's kind of where the connection there comes from. Here we get a really important line, don't give up on living. I'm guessing this is going to be recurring through the kind of show. or the series going forward. Because Hibiki says this same line to the little girl that she's helping towards the end of the episode. Kind of that connection there. She also remembers it herself when all looks hopeless. And this is where we see Kanade's face change from, serious to kind of acceptance of her own death. And she's going to sing a certain song that is kind of a self-sacrifice song. It's going to take everybody out, including her. Tsubasa starts to hear Kanade sing this song and understands what's happening. Also really like the colors changing here. It's pretty effective. And yeah, not that we didn't see this coming, it's still fairly effective as kind of a heroic self-sacrifice scene. It's tragic for everybody involved, right? I will say I didn't really perceive the threat as that dangerous to need this song to occur like this, but again, we got to get the story going. Like this shot here with the lighting's like really cool. Just as she's kind of mindlessly just trying to listen to the song, keeping her awake. And here, kind of foreshadowed before, we see a little bit of blood coming out of the mouth. I think this shot here is relatively effective as well. Kind of this POV shot through the closing eye of Hibiki, seeing the final moments of, I'm guessing, Kanade's life. Yeah, it's silhouetted in the kind of setting sun. It's pretty effective. It's nice. Hibiki then wakes up on the operating table, clear that she is now living on, as was foreshadowed. Then the show's tone changes almost entirely. This is Lydian Private Music Academy, and this is where kind of Tsubasa was studying, and that's what motivated Hibiki to join this school. She really looks up to Tsubasa, buys all her music, really enjoys it. It's kind of starstruck when she sees her later, which only makes sense based on her past experience. Tsubasa's at this school, so she wants to be at this school. That's kind of the point. The other thing is she doesn't really have super solid memories of what happened, so she thinks it might be a dream, and she may want to mention it to Tsubasa at one point and see what her opinion on the matter is. I'm guessing later on, when we kind of see her start to transform, that Tsubasa might be clued into what actually occurred. Hibiki is getting chewed out because she climbed a tree to help a cat, which is the most blatantly heroic thing that a protagonist could do. Like, come on. I like a good, really heroic, really self-sacrificey protagonist, like a, comic book-esque. It's nice. Somebody that actually likes saving people. She hasn't seen any sign of Tsubasa at the school yet, probably because she's out doing cool military missions. And, just like I do with my friends, my good friends, we just, sleep together in the same bed. I'm sure this fan base has a ton of ships and that kind of thing. It just seems like that kind of show. So we'll see if I have a ship by the end of it. This soldier guy makes it abundantly clear what we just saw, so normal weapons are useless against them. Yeah, so we have a bunch of tanks and bullets shooting at it. They go through, Who's going to save us? Enter Tsubasa, who is dropped out of a helicopter, does a magical girl dance, like mid-air, and then proceeds to wreck shop. Her character seems quite different now. She seems a little bit more vengeful, a little bit more jaded, perhaps. She easily dispatches the adversaries and uses kind of these named moves as she goes along as well, such as Blue Flash here. Her art style is a little bit more traditional Japanese, where Kanade's was comic book. I'm imagining this is a deliberate choice and kind of alludes to something about their character. Pretty cool stuff. I hope they keep this up. I wonder what Hibiki's would be if she does special moves similar. This is the first time we've seen Tsubasa at school. Hibiki bumps into her, and the look in her eyes right now, it's hard to interpret if she actually remembers who Hibiki is. Either way, she points out some food that is on Hibiki's face, to which Hibiki says she must have thought I was a total weirdo, which isn't far from the truth. You have to buy the limited CDs for the bonus materials, of course, because it's Japan and we do that. Yeah, Hibiki's a bit special here. She's just kind of running towards the store, singing along as she goes. Singing exactly what she wants. I don't think there's much going on in the old brain department there, but I don't know. It's nice. Either way, she rounds the corner and we start to feel that something's wrong. We see the kind of this ashy substance in the air. She kind of pans her head over and sees a bunch of people that are like ash in the supermarket as well, or the corner store. And yeah, the noise I hear, it seems whatever that Tsubasa did last night wasn't particularly effective. It's unclear, but at one point Hibiki meets up with a small child and starts to save her as well. As the noise closes in, they choose to jump into the river for safety. She also mentions here that there's a shelter. I'm imagining this is similar to a lot of different shows where there's some kind of supernatural threat. I'm thinking like Evangelion, where a lot of the kind of general public will go underground whilst our heroes duke it out on top. So that'll mean that we don't have to worry about civilian casualties later, when I'm guessing things are going to pop off a little bit. This is where Hibiki kind of thinks back on Kanade's self-sacrifice and thinks that, hey, I need to live on because she told me to not give up on living. She made her sacrifice for me. I better repay that by not just giving up here. That being said, I don't really know about the survival strategy of climbing to the top of, what is this, like an industrial factory or something? Climbing up is generally not a good idea when being pursued. Hibiki kind of passes on a little bit of Kanade's worldview here, a little bit, to this young child. It's kind of like she's become the person that's telling the troubled person it's all going to be okay. It's nice. It's very quick, but it's still nice. And I noted during the reaction that the colors are really nice here as we're sunsetting again, which is a little bit of a theme. So I don't know why it occurs to Hibiki to start singing this song that she heard. I'm guessing it's similar to the one that Kanade sang earlier in the episode when she transformed. And yeah, it's relatively clear to me that it's because the kind of piece of Kanade's suit pierced her heart. We will now see her kind of continue on this, whatever this is. Kind of the commander and everybody else that's watching along sees that it's Gungnir, and this is, concerning. They know what Gungnir's from, and how can this be possible? In particular, this shocks Tsubasa, as it surely would anybody that close to Kanade. Now, this sequence is kind of nuts. It's almost implied to be awful, like a really bad thing's happening to her. There's thorns going around the inside of her body in different parts. I'm guessing these are like nerves or something. I don't know. Her heart becomes darkened. Her kind of cells start to light up a little bit as well. Her teeth grow, which is something that I didn't note with Kanade. Before this happens, there's this huge explosion of all this technology coming out of her. Again, it's almost like this organic technology. The combination of the two. And yeah, this is Hibiki now. She's now like a monster or something. And that is episode 1, Beat of Awakening. Yeah, going through it there. There's a few little loose ends there that we need to catch up on in later episodes, I'm guessing. But it's a pretty good setup for a story, right? I'm guessing Hibiki's going to be brought into the fold of the commander and all those characters, and I wonder how the best friend's going to react to any of this, even if she knows that it's happening. Are there going to be more characters, potentially? But yeah, pretty enjoyable first episode, especially on the little rewatch there I did as well. It's, comes together pretty well. So yeah, in the future, any stopping point information would be great. So good episodes that would make like good stopping points for me reacting. It's always good knowledge to have. I'm going to aim for 2 episodes a week, generally. There may be more, maybe less, depends on my schedule. I'll try to kind of hit those kind of finishing points as well, the good stopping points if I can. But other than that, yeah, pretty enjoyable. I liked it, which is good. Either way, thank you very much for watching. Just going to do my shill stuff quickly. If you like the video, consider liking the video. If you like the video and want to see more, consider subscribing to the channel. Comment below anything you thought about the episode, anything I can do to improve my presentation, comment below. And I'm doing follow for follow on Twitter, so follow me on Twitter if you want me to follow you back. Rightio, thank you very much for watching the first episode of Symphogear with me, and I'll catch you next time. Thank you very much. See ya.